Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the living room, everybody. I hope that you guys are enjoying your Monday evening. I hope that you guys have had just a good, safe, healthy week. And I'm thankful that you're joining us this evening here at the living room. And here at the living room, we are a ministry that shares the gospel of Jesus Christ and how he heals and walks with us through every trial. And we stand in agreement with what Paul is preaching to the Romans in verse 18, chapter 8, where it says that we consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us. And so we are thankful for hope in Christ. We're thankful for all the things that Christ embodies in the right relationship that we're offered through Christ as we continue on this journey called life. Kate, Shelby, you guys are together.
We are
Together. Mm-hmm.
Together. I love that.
And can I just say that this link below is so important. So important for everybody. And Savannah could share more if she wants to, but as if you watch the show, you know that she has been signed to a label and she is just going to just shoot off.
Yep.
She's going to be great. It's going to, So she needs your help. She needs your prayers. She needs your money. So you just click the link below, learn all about it. But on the reels, if you know Savannah, you know that she's so talented. You know that she has been gifted from the Lord in many ways, but one being her musical ability and her writing. And if you've had the pleasure of listening to any of her songs, you know that they are just solid gospel truth shared in them, and it's beautiful. And so she has this amazing opportunity to sign with 1,000 Hills Music, and they're working on an album, and they need your money and your prayers and your support. So do it.
That's right. Thank you kindly. Check out the link, 1000hillsmusic.com. On the front page of that will give you a little bit of a testimony of what the Lord has done in my life the past year. And then to give financially, go to www.generosityrocks.com/a-1000-hills-music. And it'll take you directly to the link from my account. I thank you in advance for the prayers and for the monetary support. Both are very, very important. You know what else is important?
Jesus
and prayer. And in order for this project to be taken off, we need a lot of prayer. And we would love the opportunity to pray with you. And so if you have a prayer request or a praise, we would love the opportunity to pray with you. So type #prayer. We would love that opportunity. If you need a Bible, type #Bible. We're still waiting to give out our first Bible. My friends got Bibles for Christmas.
That's right.
Get them. Oh, I'll get mine.
They sure did. They got Bibles for Christmas this year. And I'm still waiting to give out my Bible, my other Bible, for anybody else that needs a Bible. Kate got her Bible, blue. Shelby got her Bible, brown leather.
Thank you.
Look at there. Everybody can use a new Bible. Everybody needs a Bible, man. It's so important. It's the living Word of God.
That's right.
Man. So we have had I feel like it's been an exciting series. I don't know where I was going. I got lost in my own head for a second. I was like, whoa, what? #Enneagram 5. And I got lost again. What was I saying?
So we're in an Enneagram series. We've been doing
Yes,
well.
we
We
have.
covered
Two.
twos.
Shelby, that was you.
That was me. I almost forgot. We have talked to a beautiful 9.
Mhm.
That's right.
Ashley.
Killed it.
Killed.
Tonight, we will be talking to a phenomenal 1. Yes, we will.
Yes, we
and
will.
it's going to be amazing. And then we're going to keep on bringing numbers up.
Yep.
That's right. We got Kate as a 3. We've got a local worship leader as a 4. Actually, I don't think he's a worship leader anymore. Anyways, whatever. A local.
He worships the Lord.
Yes, he does.
The
He can
Lord.
say
He sure can as a 4, and then I'll be a 5. So if you are a 6, 7, or an 8, I think we're still looking for an 8. Holler at us. We would love the opportunity to chat with you. So Shelby, this is your good friend Christy.
This is Christy, my good friend.
I'm excited. So why don't you introduce her to us? And then we'll bring her on.
Perfect. So Christy and I don't even know how many years we've known each other. She probably does because she's a 1 and she's very organized. Christy is one of the people that if you need something done, you go to her and she'll make you a list. She'll get you on a program. But how I know Christy is her mother-in-law. There she is. She's beautiful.
Hi.
So her mother-in-law, whose name is Lori, has been best friends with my mother. And so I've known Lori as long as I've known my own mother. And she is married to Lori's son. And they have 3. You're at 3 beautiful children, right?
Yeah, we're at 3. Yeah.
3 beautiful children. And yeah, so I always love stories from Lori about you, Christy, because we love Lori. She can be just very excited.
She's your 7. I don't know why she isn't signing up to do this.
This is true. I asked her about it. We'll see if I can convince her or not. But
she's persuading as well.
Yes. So
she is your strong 7.
And being a strong 7, she likes structure, but she struggles with creating the structure. Yes. So Christy being added into the family has really helped Lori.
I am their balance.
He is the balance for sure. But yes, so Christy, I'm so excited that you're here and that you join us. And yeah, so I guess getting started, just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, what you do, things like that.
It's funny you brought up not knowing exactly how long we've known each other because I was thinking about that. I was getting ready and I thought, I don't know exactly when we were introduced, but I feel like by default, you've known my husband since y'all were born. I mean, I think that's the storyline. Their moms are best friends. Y'all were born and you had to know each other and y'all had to be friends. So by default, we'll just assume
together. I have
exactly. I'm going to assume that if y'all have known each other your whole life, then we're going to say we have known each other since I met Tim. We're just going to go with that timeline.
That makes sense.
Okay, good. So as she said, my name is Christy and I was originally from Texas and have relocated to Indiana. And I did that because I met my husband in 2005 and I was, I guess, taken away by love. I was 16 and I came to visit some family who lived across the street from him. And my cousins at the time were trying to get a little band put together and they really wanted the neighbor boy to come listen to them play their songs. And so we went across the street to Tim's house and knocked on his door and said, hey, do you want to come over to our basement and listen to music? Because that's not weird. And I think it was kind of just instant connection between him and I. But who would have thought that would have went anywhere? I was in Texas and 16 and there for all of like 2 weeks. Why would it go somewhere? But it did. And we continued our love story from a distance and letters and phone calls and visits. And the day after I graduated high school, I moved to Indiana, and I've been here since, obviously. But I went and did part of my college career at IUSB, and then I finished my collegiate career at Trine University with Tim. Him and I both went there and graduated, and I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. And then we moved to South Carolina for a brief moment in time because he was active duty in the Navy. And that is where I became a surrogate. And I was a surrogate twice while we lived in South Carolina, and I carried for a family and delivered their little girl. And then I carried for another family and delivered their twins. Yes. At that time, we had one son, Landon. Landon's now 9. Or well, he'll be 9 in April. We're just going to say he's 9. We're close enough there, right? He's tall enough to be like 12, it seems. But
so true. He's so cute.
Thank you. He is in 3rd grade, and he likes Pokemon and Minecraft, and I don't even know all the things that I don't even know anything about, but that's him. And then I'm going to pause before I get to my next children. We moved back to Indiana after 2017 and have been here since. And that's where I ultimately joined my current career as a surrogate coordinator with Family Choice Surrogacy. So now I'm not having people's babies, but I am helping other women who want to be surrogates complete their journey from start to finish to help other families grow via surrogacy. Yeah, I love it. It's really neat. And since we've been back, I have given birth to our second son, Weston, who is 2.5 now. And he's just full-blown toddler. Lots of emotions, lots of boundary testing, loves cars, trucks, Blippi, all things boy. He's a handful, but he's fun. And then I just recently gave birth in August to our third son, Benson, who turned 5 months old yesterday. And he's so sweet. I mean, I know he's a baby and all babies are sweet, but he's just really a sweetie. And I call him my little angel baby because, not to be rude to his brothers, but he's like the best sleeper. He's just so sweet and very chill. And I'm not going to say like my other two were really hard, but they gave me a run for my money, and he's just being nicer to mom. I won't pick favorites. We should not have favorites.
That's right.
But I love him.
That's awesome. I love
that. That's kind of us in a nutshell. My husband's 10. He is still in the Navy Reserves, and then he's an engineer with Lockmuir. I had to think about that because he just switched to that company. So it's been a recent change in our life. But yeah, that's
awesome. So cool. Thank you for sharing that. I love it. And so you are an Enneagram 1.
I am.
And so tell us about like how you found out about the Enneagram, found your number, figured out like your wing, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. I was trying to think back to when I first heard about Enneagrams, and I'll be honest, I can't recall how I got to that point, but I want to say it was kind of in the middle of when the pandemic was really hot and heavy, and we were all home doing nothing besides stressing and not being able to go anywhere. And I've always had this interest in trying to learn more about my personality, why I am the way I am. I think this kind of plays into a role as to, I have a degree in psychology. I think I just like the way the mind works and trying to understand it. And so I don't know if I saw something on Instagram or on Facebook. I think maybe everybody was talking about it. I think that must have been it. Everyone was sharing about their numbers at this point in time. And I thought, what are they talking about? And you betcha I'm going to go find this quiz because I like a good quiz. I enjoy school. I like studying. I like all that kind of stuff. So let's figure this out. Let's learn more about myself. And to no surprise, hardcore 1, feel it in my bones. Like it's all that I am. And it was kind of hard though to 100% nail down the wing. I think there's parts of the 9 and the 2 I could relate with, but if I had to really identify, I think I'm more of a 1 wing 2.
Okay.
I think that's where I pull the hardest at.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the beauty of the wings is like, it's very interesting to me, at least with different people, is like some can be so fluid, like Savannah, through like her wings, or you can like have a more dominant one but still pull from one. And then there's some people that like cannot relate to one of their wings at all, and they
really?
pull to one side. Yeah. So I
Okay.
just think it's so interesting how everyone is like so like there's so much diversity within even the same number. In
Yeah,
wings.
well, that makes me feel better because I was
Yeah.
kind of concerned that I couldn't like
No.
I really connect, but I'm glad to know it's okay.
That is such a one thing to say. I love
It
that.
is. I don't want to be wrong.
Okay. So with your oneness, how do you like relate the most to your numbers? How do you see it like working out like in your everyday life and like in your job and things like that?
Yeah. I think the biggest takeaway is with the one, our desire to be right. And honestly, our desire to be perfect. I don't like saying perfect because I know that's hard to achieve and we can't achieve it. Right, I can handle a little bit better. I don't want to be wrong, not intentionally. And then when I am wrong, whether it was intentional or not, that hurts. I think as ones, we are our own worst critic. And so I don't like others telling me I'm wrong, but that doesn't even need to happen. Like if I know I'm wrong, that's a lot of, I guess, feelings to take in, if you will. Like I can give myself enough guilt treatment. And I don't want to hear from others either. So it's hard hearing I'm wrong. Let's put it that way. And I can tell you in my marriage, Tim will constantly say like, you have a hard time being wrong, or you're not gonna, end the argument or let something go until you're the last one and you're the right one. And we also discuss that my oldest and I are very similar, although we do believe he is a 6. We've given him the quiz and we have, just done some reading on our own, and we really do think he's a 6.
Yeah.
I don't know what the correlations are between 1 and 6s, but for whatever reason, him and I have the more strained relationship as far as just trying to get that last word in or not wanting to back down, not wanting to be wrong. So I don't know if the 6s pull any of that in them as well, but yeah. And then as far as my job goes, I think, with surrogacy, especially in the agency realm, if you will, that I work with, we want to be ethical and we want to do things the right way, which is up my alley. I don't want to do anything that is cheating the system or unethical or that can bring anyone harm or dishonor. And so with that being said, I want to do things the right way. I want to help others, and I want to make sure our surrogates have to go through like these task lists to get things done, and they need to be done in order. Not everyone feels as compelled and as strong about order as I do. And so, I'll get frustrated if someone goes out of a step, even though they're not doing harm and it still can be done that way. I just don't see why you would want to go out of order. Why would you want to skip a step? It's just too much. Like, just keep going. Go in 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
But yeah, that's pretty much it there. Like, that's where I relate the most, is I want things to be done the right way and I want to help others. And yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. And that, I wonder too, like if you're the whole surrogacy thing, in my opinion, and I could be totally way off, but would make sense for like your wing too,
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's kind of what pulled me towards the wing too, is thinking about that part of myself and the desire to help and the desire to advocate for those who need it. And I think that's really what solidified my direction to go that way when I was comparing the 1 wing 9 and 1 wing 2.
For sure. Yeah, that's cool.
Thanks.
So you had mentioned like ones want to be perfect and right, and I can relate to that a little bit because every now and then I swing to my one wing.
That's true. That would be your wing.
Yeah, and so I'm definitely a dominant 2 wing 3, but every now and then I pull. But I'm curious if you notice any like correlation with your number and like how you view God and how you interact with him and see your relationship with him, how that works out too. Also, I'm asking all the questions.
No,
I'm so
I
sorry.
love it. I'm good.
Like, y'all
I hope
just
you don't mind,
jump
Kristee.
in.
No, I don't mind. I mean, no, not at all. You do you.
I love listening. I'm good.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think, so I think part of, if I had to really dive deep into my soul, I think I could say that sometimes it's hard for me to ask God for help. I think I want to think I can do it all and that I can get by with my own strengths and my own talents and my own knowledge. And it's hard, I think, to ask anyone for help, not even on the God level, like, because I want to be the one helping others. I don't want to seek it. And so I think that is a moment of weakness, is that I struggle to accept help and to ask for it and know that I need it from God. Other things, to think about too is, as I mentioned, it's hard to admit the perfectionism situation. And I think it's because deep down, I know God is it. God is the only one who is perfect and without sin. And I'm not God. And so as much as I want to try to be perfect and good and right, I'm going to fail. And I need to, accept that and ask for forgiveness and his grace and his strength, because it's hard accepting failure and accepting moments of weakness and not taking it on a personal level and letting him, like, I'm not of less value if I make a mistake. And that's hard for me to always remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew, that's so good. Yeah. I relate to that, or you said, but like, and I feel like that's probably, like, for one, thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable.
Thanks.
But like, I feel like even more than just the one can relate to that. The whole, like, having a hard time asking for help, and just even with like our society being like so gung-ho on like independence and like all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, the whole having a hard time asking for help. And I mean, I feel that deep as a 2. So
It's ironic to myself because I so effortlessly can give help to anyone. Like, why is it that I'm okay accepting that others need help and I want to help them, and I can't, why can't I be in that same position of receiving it? So that's just silly logic that my brain needs to get over.
I feel that. You're a wing too, Christy.
Yeah.
All right. See, we're getting there.
I was literally thinking, like, Shelby, because we've had these conversations before, because Shelby's because Shelby is a 2, like, she's such a giver, and like, that's just her heart and like soul. And so like, but we've also had very honest conversations that it's so hard to receive that, though, even as a giver, because you just want to keep, you give and you give and give. It's like hard to like take. It feels wrong. And since I'm a 3, I dive into my 2 wings, so I also feel that too. So I don't deserve this.
And there's like a strange disconnect, at least for me. Like, I don't know if this is true of you guys too, but like, in my head, like, if somebody asked me for help, like, I don't think anything different of them. Like, I don't think,
not at all.
You're not like,
if I ask for help, I'm like, you should have had that figured out. Like, and it's like this weird
moment of weakness, yet I never view them as weak.
Yes, exactly.
How trippy is that, and silly?
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's like, why can't I like figure that out?
I don't know what to do.
It's insane.
But I'll sit.
Here we are. But yeah, and I wonder too, like, I know like that was more of like the the growth opportunity or whatever thing in relation to our view of God. But also, if I can just like affirm you just a little bit, is as a one, like seeing the like design and the order that ones have in the organization, and seeing like just that example and that image of God in ones, because obviously God is such an orderly creator. Like he is so into the details. He has a plan for everything, and he's morally perfect, and like you said, like we can't be perfect, but just like but just like seeing that, I think that's a beautiful thing in ones to see and to recognize, is just like seeing that we need that. Like we need
we do.
so desperately.
Yes.
And I do feel like ones are leaders. And I do feel, again, like I want to be morally right and morally good. And I want people to be that way too. Like that is something that I don't know if we're going to talk about some things that are maybe negative or I don't know of ones, but you know, we deal with anger. And I think the anger stems from people doing bad. That hurts. Like I don't want to do bad, but I also have a hard time when others are doing bad or doing wrong with intent, especially, or lying. Like lying is really hard. I've always said I'm not a good liar, and I'm not. Like I don't want to do it, and I don't want people to do it to me, and it hurts. And I want people to. I want to treat them with respect, and I want them to respect me, and I just want to do good. And so I think that the anger for ones, I read somewhere when I was kind of just trying to read more about Enneagrams that are like the deadly sin, if you will, associated with the one is anger and resentment. And I pondered on that, trying to figure out, you know, how does that apply to me, and why do I think it applies to my life? And what it comes down to is I think that I am constantly trying to keep things in line and keep things in order and to get ahead of the game and think about all the things that could go wrong and fix them before they go wrong. Try to make everyone's lives better by, you know, making things easier for them, even if it is an extra task on my hand. You know, I want them to be living the easy life. That's just, I want to help. And while I don't necessarily want to be called out and singled out and praised, because I don't know if that's a personality thing or also one thing, I get really kind of embarrassed, if you will, if people are like toot my own horn kind of a thing. But if you like kind of quietly notice or know like I was there, or know that I had a hand in trying to get that set up to make things better. You know, when I think about like we have a busy week with the family, and I take a step to, you know, set out all the clothes for the week or make everyone's meals ahead of time. Like, you know, I put that extra step in. So it's just making the night easier. Like, I don't need you to make a big fuss about it, but just noticing. And when those things go unnoticed, or I think that they didn't matter to you, or maybe, you know, I helped you do something, but then you fell back into your own ways that weren't good, for lack of better words, then I can get angry and I can get resentful because I feel like I can only do so much and give so much. And at some point, if it's not noticed or accounted for, maybe I did it for nothing. And also I think the anger and resentment, again, comes into play when people are doing the wrong thing or trying to cheat the system or do something with the intent of hurting someone. That's hard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I got deep.
I'm like,
Good.
you want it to be deep. Like,
I have a further understanding. Because obviously we're at different places and different in the Enneagram. So
yeah, for sure. I'm like, okay, I have no degrees in the Enneagram or training or anything like that, but I feel like we can confidently say that you have a wing too.
Yeah.
After hearing you like express it and explain it, I really am feeling more confident.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Do y'all have, I feel like I've been talking way too much. I need y'all to ask a question.
Savannah.
Thank you for sharing. First line is awesome. I mean, yeah, we don't have any degrees in the Enneagram. 2 of us have our master degrees in social work.
Okay.
You have your degree in psychology, and Shelby is highly degreed in degreed in the minds of young people. And so it's cool, I think, to just sit back and hear people's perspectives of their own lives through the eyes of just personality in general and whatever. But I'm gonna rewind us a little bit, and I'm not gonna ask a question necessarily. I'm gonna speak to everybody because I feel like we all should hear this. But anyways, so you were saying like it's so easy for us to like give help and help other people and whatever, but it's so hard for us to receive help.
Yeah.
And I get that. I'm an Enneagram 5, so I strive off of independence. That's like, I am all about independence. I don't need your help. I don't need people. I've got God and I'm good to go. That's me. That's who I am. And then there's good parts of that, but there's massive amount of danger in that and whatever. But I think like all of us where we're sitting, and I know Kate and Shelby pretty well, and just hearing about what you were sharing, if we take ourselves out of the situations like you were saying, and we're like, well, I don't judge them for saying that they need help or whatever, right? When we give help, this is good. When we give help, it's because we believe that they're worthy and deserving of help. So when we don't receive help, we don't believe that we're worthy and deserving of help. And so, especially for you 3 who are in the 1, 2, 3s of just like the worthiness and the helping and the what's the right word?
Who is like
compassionate, like the
core fears are that like
not being core fears are
not being rejection, not being
high in that. And so and mine comes from a completely different situation and just whatever, but so how do we do that? Like, how do we whatever? Like, we have to look at ourselves through the eyes of Christ, and we look at ourselves in a way of like, all right, so if I can look at Shelby and be like, you know what, Shelby, like you said that you needed help, I'm gonna help you. You're worthy of needing help. And then she can look at me and be like, no, but I like, and do the same thing. So she obviously sees something in me that is like worthy of helping me and deserving of love and respect and honor and all of that. And it's only a snippet because we're faulty, sinful humans of how God can imperfectly make us, how he can make us perfect. I don't know what I was trying to say there for a second.
You almost
I did. I almost did. That was close.
I'm nervous.
We have to be able to trust that other person and be like, all right, they see something that we don't quite yet. And so then we pray. We pray for our eyes to be unveiled the way that Christ sees us, the way that God sees us, because the body of Christ is supposed to be Jesus with skin, right? And so I've used that term a couple of times where it's not necessarily we are Jesus, but it is we are Jesus with skin on, loving people here on this earth like he's asked us and called us to do. And so that's how we do it. We surround ourselves with community, and as a 5, right? And as a 1, I'm sure that there's some intimidation aspects, and for 3s and 2s, like all of us there.
I like that you said the word intimidation, because I was also trying to think as you were speaking, what is it that I would say is the word that bothers me when I think about getting help. Like, aside from feeling unworthy of the help, I think there's parts of it that honestly boils down to control.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the one in control.
Yeah.
I want to be the one who does it. And I in my head think I'm the only one who can do it right.
Mm.
And so why should I bother having someone help me do something when I've already decided in my brain that they're not going to do it the way I would want it done, or they're not going to do it right in general. So therefore I'm going to have to go back and do it anyway.
Mm.
Why let them do it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem. Because there are so many ways to do things, and I'm not the ultimate sayer and how it needs to be done, no matter what I think. So a lot of it really boils down to control and not feeling worthy of it. A lot of this I've felt this recently, and it happens every single time I've had a baby. That's probably when I'm at my weakest, at least when I associate my weakness, is when I have been physically brought down from childbirth and have to heal. That I am now slow. So Christy, I operate on like speed 100 all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sit down. My brain doesn't sit down. I just keep going and I get things done, and I can't relax, because if I'm not doing something, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I helping? What am I fixing?
Mm-hmm.
What is my point of existence? Like, I need to be doing something. And so I pop out a baby, and unfortunately my past babies have all been C-sections, which is like major surgery.
Yeah.
And I am now bedridden, and that is a lot.
Mm.
And so weeks leading up to this moment in time, I am driving Tim mad, because I am essentially, I'll just be honest, belittling. I am basically saying, you're not going to do any of the things that I need you to do right. You're not capable. I mean, it gets real ugly real fast, because my brain just goes crazy on how this whole house is going to like essentially burn down because I'm out of commission. Like, no one else can run the house. No one else can bathe our children. Tim is super hands-on. Tim is a very great husband and very hands-on father. It's not that he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay. I literally build these illusions up in my head that only I can make this house function.
Right.
Mm.
Which is sad, because I could probably have a lot more downtime if I would just chill. But it's all control.
Yeah.
And Tim will kindly, I do think Tim is a 3 with, I don't know. So when Tim's taking these quizzes and such, there's times he'll get 1, and there's times he gets 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so then what I have done is I think about how big of a 1 I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think he quite matches up to my 1 level. So then I put him in a 3. I don't know if that's really good to do or not, but that's where I'm at in my non-degree of Enneagrams.
That's hilarious.
So I don't know. And I think he relates a lot to the 3 things, but
yeah,
he does have 1 tendencies. So he will, in these moments of my high stress and high anxiety and high controlling issues, and especially high hormonal issues in the moments of pregnancy, will kindly try to get through that moment. But then he gets to his breaking point, and then he like lays the law down, like, woman, you're hurting my feelings. And you make me feel like I'm not adequate and that I am not able, and that hurts. And then I snap into reality of like, oh crap, what am I doing? Like, he is my husband. He is capable. He is strong. He is a good father. Mm-hmm. He is able to help and do things. Get out of his way. Mm-hmm. Quit trying to control. Mm-hmm. And quit assuming just because he does it differently that it's wrong.
Not only is that just good for like peer-to-peer, but that is a word for us in relation to the Lord.
Yeah. Get out of the way.
Like, it may not be how we would do it, but oh my goodness.
That's
yes. Real. I feel that deep.
Yeah.
I feel that deep.
I'm just glad the man loves me. He puts up with my crap. like crazy, controlling crap, and I'm thankful he hasn't given up on it. That's got to be Jesus in there.
You guys, I would equate you with being a power couple.
I appreciate
you both
that.
are like very like go-getters, very much always been on top of things. Like you guys are like pretty solid.
I do think we have like old souls to us to some extent.
So true.
People always say like y'all act like y'all are way older than you are.
Yes.
We're more serious. I think ones also are very serious by nature.
Yeah.
I don't think we're playful. And back to my wonderful mother-in-law, who Shelly and I love and adore. You know, she's a 7 and she's all about the play. And so as much as her and I do well together and bring balance to one another, there are times where we butt heads because I cannot get on her level of playfulness.
Yeah.
Shelby, is your mom a 7 too?
No, mom's an 8.
Oh, okay. But she must be a 7, right?
She's, I don't know. She might just be fluid and go to both wings.
Okay, because she's quite fun as well.
She's 100% an 8.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm sure she fluctuates. I feel like she's probably I feel like her wing 9 is probably more dominant.
Okay.
But she definitely has the 7 in there.
Sure. And maybe it's just Lori who brings it out of her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or they feed off one another.
When her and Lori are together, it's like
it's nuts.
It's
hilarious.
7. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I missed it.
You missed it.
Gotta go. She was on it. But yeah, I don't know how many times if I've been to dinner with Lori and my mother where I've just been in tears because of watching them laugh.
Yeah, you don't get a word in. They just feed off each other.
It's just watching them and it's insane.
Yep.
I love that.
It's a fun time.
That's good.
Well, Christy, thank you.
Hey, we need all these numbers to make this world go round.
So
that's
true.
right.
Yes.
That's right. Amen to that. Thank you so
We all
much.
play an important role.
Yes. Thank you so much for just taking the time.
This was a lot of fun.
Evening.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you. As always, if you guys need prayer, type hashtag Bible. And we are so pumped that you just spent some time with us this evening and learned about the Enneagram 1.
I enjoyed it.
Heard from Christy's life and just all that she's been through and doing, and had the privilege of hearing that and sharing that with us. And as a reminder, there's a link for the Enneagram test if you would like. www.enneagramgift.com. We would love to hear from you. What's your Enneagram number? I do know that there is also another number 1 here on this live feed, but I'm not going to call him out anytime soon because he is controlling this podcast.
Yeah.
So our producer is a 1 and he is all about it, and it makes complete sense as I sit in here from Christy and just reading some of the things. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Really does.
Sorry, Mario.
Yes, me too.
We definitely haven't loved Mario.
No wonder he was mad at the Wi-Fi connection.
It was blurry. It wasn't perfect.
I'm so sorry. We're so unorganized.
Yes. God bless you. I can relate to everything you said, Christy. God bless your soul. Bless your heart. I do have one thing to say, though.
Savannah.
1,000 Heels. www.8000heelsmusic.com. We need your money. We need your finance. We need your support. We need your prayers. Drop a $1, drop a $2 bill. Drop a $500 bill.
You have a $2 bill?
You got a $2 bill?
I got a couple $2 bills. Thank you very much.
My 8-year-old has a couple.
I do. The old ladies love me. So anyway, so please support Savannah Whitaker and her her project. It's going to be amazing. We already know that. So again, generosityrocks.com/a-1000-heels-music. Peace.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Christy. And as always, y'all, my hope and prayer is that you would look to Jesus this week and seek him above all else. And we will see you next week.
Bye.